Alright, so now we're going to start that second part of section 1. So identifying linear functions where we need to write them in standard form. Okay, so it's another time where we're going to be rewriting things, and this is kind of like chapter 2, where we need to make sure that x's and the y's are on one side of the equal sign. Okay, so first there's some rules we need to know that'll make it a lot simpler to follow, so we know when we even need to rewrite it. Okay, so if you ever have a problem where x and y both have exponents of 1, then we're good to go. If they are not multiplied together, if they are multiplied together, then you just write no, and then you're done and you move on. And x and y do not appear in denominators, exponents, or have radical signs. Okay, radical signs, remember, are square root signs. So if there's an x or y in the denominator, or if it has an exponent, or if it has a radical sign, you know it's not linear, so you just say no, and then you're done. You don't have to do anything else. Okay, so something like this on the left side. So it's in standard form. It says x, it says y, and it equals a number. Okay, this can be in standard form because there is an x and there is a y, so we would just need to subtract the 3x or add the 2, whichever way is easier, and we would get it where 3x minus y equals negative 2. Kind of the same thing here, it's just written differently. And this also can be written in standard form, where I would add y to both sides and have x and y and then equals a number. So those are all things that can be written in standard form, which is what we're doing today, getting the x and y on one side of the equal sign. Here are things that we can't write in standard form because there's an x and a y and they're being multiplied by each other. So we would just write no and then we're done. Same thing with this one. It breaks one of the rules. It's x to the third power. Can't be done. So we just write no. Here's another one that breaks a rule. Y is in the denominator. We would just write no and then we're done. So if we can rewrite it, we're going to rewrite it so that it's x, y, and then equals a number. Okay, it can be 5x and a 3y. It doesn't matter what the numbers are in front of x and y. So it makes it a little easier from what we did in chapter 2 because we don't have to get x or y by itself. They just need to be on the same side. Okay, so something like this. X equals 2y plus 4. So again, we want x and y to be on the same side. So it's a positive 2y. So I need to subtract 2y. So then I have x minus 2y equals 4. Since I can write in standard form, let's go back up here. And remember, standard form is ax plus by equals c. Well, a, b, and c are just variables. So when you can write in standard form, they want us to write out what those standard or what those variables are. So in this case, a is that number in front of x. Well, there's a 1 in front of an x. B is that number in front of y. Well, there's a negative 2 in front of y. C is that number that it equals, and it equals 4. So there's going to be 2 parts to these. One is writing it in standard form, and one is writing what A, B, and C equal. So let's do another one. So this one, it says minus 3y, so I'd have to add 3y to both sides. Add 3y to both sides. So then when I'm done adding 3y to both sides, I get 4x plus 3y equals 7. And again, I would need to write down what's my number in front of x. So a equals 4. My number in front of y, b equals 3, and the number it equals is 7. So c equals 7. Some of these things, just going back, so this is linear. It has all the rules. It's y equals 12. This one's also linear. Y equals 2 times x. This one's also linear. 3 minus 2x. This one's also linear. 3 times y equals 12. This one is not linear because it's x times y. Remember that broke one of the rules from before. You can't have x and y multiplying. So we're going to say not linear. Move on. Then we don't need to worry about what a, b, and c are. This one is linear. There's a y. There's an x. There's no exponents. There's none of that division. X and y aren't being multiplied. So it is linear. So then we are good there.